guys. So let's see what we can do today to teach our kiddos to eat. Let me ask you this. Has it ever happened to you when you're at a grocery store, for example, and your child is asking you to buy something that they didn't like before? And you're hesitating. You don't want to buy it. You don't want to waste the money. So you tell them, well, honey, you didn't like this, so I'm not going to buy it for you. Or dinner time, and your child is refusing to eat whatever you're serving. So you get up and you make something that you know they will probably eat. I think it happened to all of us, to me for sure. But let me tell you this. Assuming what our kids will or will not eat, or catering to them, does nothing to help them learn those healthy eating habits for later in life. In fact, what it does is this. It projects the idea that our kids are picky eaters and that they need special food. Plus, it's no fun for us to be jumping up and down multiple times during a meal to make something special for them. So instead of assuming and instead of catering, let's try doing something different. Let's be intentional about looking for opportunities to introduce new foods to our kids or reintroduce those foods that they've rejected before. Doing this in the context of a family-style meal is easy. You'll serve 3 or 4 dishes. Most of them will be familiar foods to your kiddo, and one not familiar or something that they've rejected before. This way, you are removing the pressure from your child to eat this new food because now they have all these other options to choose from. Plus, you're exposing them to this new food or the food that they've rejected before. And exposure is key. Even though you might think that your child is not learning anything just by looking at the food, in fact, there are all kinds of different processes that are happening in their brain at the time. Eating is extremely sensory. Just by looking and smelling the food, your child is already learning to become comfortable around it. And if you're eating that food next to them, without making any comments like, ooh, this is so good, you should try it, that's pressure. If you're doing that, if you're eating that food with them, you're already teaching them the biggest lesson you can possibly teach them in learning how to eat. They did research on this and they found out, surprise, surprise, that a child is more likely to try a new food when somebody they trust is eating that same type of food. So let's not assume, let's not cater, but let's intentionally look for opportunities to introduce the foods, the new foods, and those foods that our kids didn't like before to them. And let's see what happens. Watch them explore. Let me know how it goes. I will talk to you soon.